I'm Ellen at Sisters 3 Farm, and thanks for joining me today. Today I thought I would talk to you about backgrounds. And you might say, backgrounds? We want to talk about the motif. We want to talk about hooking the main item of your focal point on your rug. But when I started hooking, all of the teachers that I went to would say, as I pulled out a pattern and said, this is what I'd like to do, they'd say, well, what's your background? And I'd say, I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you mean, what's my background? Well, is it dark or light? And I'd say, I'm not sure. But the question I didn't ask was, why? Why do I want to know, is my background dark or light? Why do I want to know about my background right away? The answer to that is because it really reflects and helps to develop your hooking, the plan for your hooking. And it has to do with contrast. And we're talking about beginner rug hooking, not things that are more advanced and detailed. But I wanted to give you some examples today of why you want to consider your background. Is it dark or light? And then to go even beyond dark or light and say, I want my background white or black or green or gray, whatever. So we're going to do some examples today. So bear with me while I change the camera angle. Good. So I had a lot of comments on my little rose bag, my knit bag, but this is a much smaller one. And one of the reasons, and thought this was a good way to show you why it's important to know whether it's dark or light. If you're hooking a dark background or hooking a lighter motif, you can see that there's contrast between the two. You can notice that I put my lightest row of hooking on the edge. And this is so it butts up to the dark part of your background, and you can really see it. It really makes it stand out. And you can see that I did the same thing on the leaves. You put your lighter color green on the outside, and you can see the motif stands out. Another example of hooking a background would be this. This is from Honey Beehive. And I don't remember the name of it, but it's a cute little table topper. Nice, super easy. And you can see I chose to hook a light background. It's kind of a very light oatmeal color, and it really sets off. And you can see the leaves, you can see the contrast there. It makes the main motif really stand out. I did outline and fill, and we can talk at a later date how we color plan and make colors move around the rug to make your eye move around. But right now we're talking about the background, and you can see that this really makes this design stand out. Another one, even though we have a black cat and we have a black and gray and white textured background, this really works because this is a texture, and when you hook it really tight, it really red as a lighter color to the black, of course, and again, you have another nice way of popping your rug in your main motif. The next one tends to be a little more similar. I'm not sure if you can see this entirely. But this one is all shades, different tones of grays, browns, oatmeal color. And again, we have a dark motif and a lighter background, so you can see the difference. I put my darker color of the leaf next to a lighter color background. Here, the colors blend more. Those values read the same. And you want that in some of your primitive rugs. You want them to kind of be a little smushy. And here I did some darker motifs. This is a hunting rug, you can see. Shame on me, hunting rug, but bows and arrows. And it reminded me of a song from when I was a little kid. and that's why I did that. I have another example if you like fine, more fine designs. I color planned this rug. Again, it's from Honey Beehive, and you can see that this is a dark background, and I set it off by putting a white line, outlined all this in white so it really stands out. Here you have a light background with a dark motif. I echoed that there. So you can see how all of these play against each other. They really make a nice distinctive pattern. Your eye looks at this and you find it pleasing to look at. Even in primitives, you want to have some contrast. Unless you're going for an entirely different look, and we can get into that at a separate time, but even in primitives, you have a dark motif and a lighter background. Yeah, it's a dark kind of a taupey, kind of oatmeal-y, taupey color, but you can see there is a distinctive difference between the two. And so that, again, even it really stands out and makes it work. So when you start a pattern, I want you to think, what's my background going to be? Because you want to have some contrast. You want to have that nice look where you can look at your motif and you say, oh, I can see that. I know what it is. It's a strong feeling. It feels good. It looks good. Sometimes your background is a choice of dark or light because you happen to have a lot of wool of one color. Well, that's your background then, because you know it's going to cover your background. And don't forget, I started hooking, like I said, people would ask me, do you have a dark background? Do you want a light background? And I didn't know why they were asking me that. No one ever really fully explained that. A lot of people assume that you know what they're talking about. So I think it's, what I like to do in these videos of mine is to really give you some basics, to help you over those really basic hurdles. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. So I'm going to say bye for now from Sisters 3 Farm. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.